Well, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Yeah. I hope. Yeah. Some of it's just because we say so, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe a lot of it. So. I've been waiting to do this song for the first service of a year, and here it is. We begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin. Let's double down on fun, my friend. This right here is where we begin. Well, now we could start out anywhere, but we're here now, we're not elsewhere. Right here is where we begin. So let's beautifully bless this place, this blue dot in outer space. This right here is where we begin. Singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin. Let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. And I'm so grateful that we're here together. Make some good times that could last forever. Right here is where we begin. We're going to share some songs and a few stories. Sing along cause it's glorious. Right here is where we begin. Singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin. Let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. When it's all been said and done and we've taken in that love and fun, thinking about doing it again. And though it seems that we have reached the end, remember always now is when, any moments when we can begin. Singing, we begin. Here's a tune to take us in. Right here is where we begin. We begin. Let's double down on love, my friends. This right here is where we begin. This right here is where we begin. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Good singing. We did begin. We're going to do another one. I got the text message. 2 songs to start with love. It wasn't even in caps or anything, was it? But this is one that I do, this next one, like literally once a year. Once. So didn't we do it 3 years ago? 2023. Something like that then. Okay. So that last song was inspired by David Roth trying to get me to learn or create a vocal part to a song, and I didn't want to do it, and I said no, and then finally I said, well, might as well begin because none of us is promised tomorrow, so just do it, right? So this next song was actually written by David Roth, so, and it's for times like these, like the beginning of a year. This is the year for making changes. This is the year for moving on. This is the year for overcoming. This is the year for growing strong. This is the year to make This is the year for making plans. This is the year for reaching out, and this is the year for joining hands. Gone are the lonely nights of yearning. Gone are the dark and cloudy skies, all the unsteady bridges burning, all of the doubt, all of the lies. This is the chance to recapture the power. This is the time to abandon the fear. This is the moment, the finest hour. This is the year, this is the year. This is the year I put into action all my desires and all of my means. This is the year that I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year. This is the year I'm letting go of trying to change the ones I love. Does that resonate? That one stops me every time. This is the year I turn it over. This is the year I look above. This is the year that I take my intention, turn it away from distraction and talk. This is the year I take a step, and this is the year I walk the walk. This is the year I put into action all my desires and all my means. This is the year I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year. This is the year I make it happen. This is the year I follow through. This is the year I move ahead on all of the things that I want to do. This is the chance to renew my commitment. This is the time to be conscious and clear. This is the moment for living together. This is the year. 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 This is the year.
That's a whole lot of words. You just jumped right in there. Like you'd practiced it or something. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, David Roth.
So, I'm Heather. No, she said she was a little bit under the weather. And me being a sweet lassie said, okay, no problem. So today is the first week of January, so here we are, and the wonderful daily word is prosperity. Oh, prosperity. So it says, I rise above material concerns as I claim my prosperity. No matter the shifting fortunes of the world or my life, I can still live prosperously. Not an easy word to say. When I feel troubled by my circumstances, I have the power to shift my consciousness and align with spiritual truth, realizing I am heir, aligning with the spiritual truth, realizing I am heir to the world's abundance, and it fills me with gratitude. God is limitless, and there is no lack in God. As Jesus taught in the 12th chapter of Luke, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I meditate on this scripture until I begin to feel the divine idea of prosperity take root in my consciousness. I practice responsible stewardship of my material resources, and I place my trust in God and rely upon spiritual truth to feel the fullness of my prosperity. I affirm I am prosperous. And from Psalms 37:11, but the meek shall inherit the land, and delight themselves in abundance, prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'll go this way. Okay. You go that way. It's a dance. It's always a dance. Morning, 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 morning. I don't know that I expected to see so many of you this morning. That's how expectation is. It's just one surprise after another. Expectation, we say. What is expectation? It's my belief I have control over outcomes. It's good to start there this morning. It's, what is expectation? We say, well, it's hope, it's promise, it's along the lines of what I most desire. The idea that we could write down a few things we'd like to let go, and that would be the magic soup in which the universe would respond to do exactly that for us, free us, release us, transform us, make us new in 1,000 different ways. It's possible. It's possible, and at the same time, what we know is how many times we've approached the new year with a good intention. And out of that good intention, we discovered that we were the ones that had work to do. We were the ones who met ourselves on the path. We were the ones who were somehow prompted to do the foot moving that would take us from one state of being into another. And so if you're online with us this morning, we welcome you to our Burning Bowl ceremony. And for those of you who've been a part of this as many years as many of you have, you know what you're in for. You're in for making a commitment to yourself, making a commitment to your higher self, making a commitment to be in alignment with the person you know you can be and choose to be. It's also a time when we let go and experience that relief, if you can, for at least an instant until you walk out the door and take on your life again. That relief that comes from engaging in a symbolic act that is present at the deeper layers of our mind and heart and body and being. We say infinite possibility is present for us. Infinite possibility. We live and move and have our being in the constancy of infinite possibility. And then we discover in the process of that we are being called. We're being called to something more. As spiritual students, as individuals living truth, if you will, living the principles of unity, unfolding from the inside out, we discover that there is promise in this ceremony that we engage. And there's always promise in any sacred ceremony. And that promise is felt and then moved on by our inmost being. Today we consciously say yes to life and to those divine possibilities that are unfolding in our lives. We take a courageous step of consciously releasing and letting go. Letting go of what? Well, that's what's in your heart today, whatever that letting go means to you. It's courageous to say, I can be open and receptive to releasing and letting go of what has been. And at the same time, I can open to the power within that generates and amplifies all possibility for me. What is all possibility for me? It doesn't look necessarily like yours. Maybe it's something great, or maybe it's something small, or maybe it's somewhere in between. What's the highest possibility for yourself you can entertain today? So together we're doing this. We're creating an energy together, and our opening statement is, today I begin anew. Today I begin anew. Together, would you speak that with me? Today I begin anew. Thank you. Thank you for greeting. Thank you for doing sound. Thank you for being here, Steve, after flying home yesterday and being ready to go for us this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for volunteers who put their hands on everything here and make it happen. This morning I texted Dave and said, would you put the hymnals out? And then I explained to him why, and most of you figured it out. We're not going to sing out of them. We don't even know those songs, but there are a few of them that are familiar. No, it's for you to write on this morning as you're writing what you're releasing and then writing your letter of possibility. It's helpful to have something to write on instead of the back of the person in front of you, which isn't necessarily the best way to do it. You received a packet as you came in. If you didn't receive a packet, they are somewhere in this room and available to you. They're out in the entry. So you have an envelope, you have a large piece of paper, which is for your letter. You have a small piece of paper. Louise said maybe she cut it a little small. She's thinking that we're so advanced in our spiritual energy that we didn't need a big piece of paper to write a lot of stuff on. One word, whatever one word or two words are that represent anything in right on front and back, and pencil and your fresh envelope, and we'll work with those as we get into the service. I found a poem by John Rodell. I love John Rodell's poetry. If you don't know him, he's frequently at or on Facebook, and he actually wrote a couple of books this year of his poetry, or assembled them. And this one was called Benediction at the Door, is the name of the poem. And the book that it comes from is called Anoint This Threshold. Anoint this threshold, a door of new beginning. Anoint this threshold. Before we cross the threshold together, let us take a breath. Bless us as we stand here. Something has shifted. We can't go back. The air hums with what's coming. The old world is behind us. The unknown waits ahead. Our hands shake on the knob. Is this fear, or is it hope returning in disguise? The door, the door, the door. Bless this door before us. It is waiting to open, and my love, we are the ones it has been waiting for. This door, the door, the door, the door. Bless this door before us. It is waiting to open. Bless this threshold. Let us understand that we are crossing from holy ground to the ongoing and ever-evolving holy ground before us. On a particular day, we stand and we say, this is the day of new beginnings. This is January 1. It's a new year. We have new numbers to work with. This doorway that we step through will be somehow, and then we're not sure. We're not sure. We say, bless this doorway. Bless this threshold. Bless these feet that step from holy ground to holy ground. We say, this is a moment that's been waiting for me. This is a moment that's been waiting for you, a door that's been waiting to open within you, for you, in the experience of your life. Bless us as we stand here. Something has shifted. We can't go back. The air hums with what's coming. The old world is behind us, and the unknown waits ahead. Our hands shake on the knob. Is this fear or hope returning in disguise? The door, the door, the door. Bless this door before us. It is waiting to open. And we are the ones it has been waiting for. Martha Creek asked a question. Is it fear of the unknown that stops me? She asks. Or is it my belief in the unknown that stops me? Is it really the unknown? Every breath is unknown. Every day is unknown. But her question is it really fear that causes us to hesitate? Or is it our belief that we would be afraid of this unfolding time? That we would be somehow unfolded or unfolding in accord with a somethingness that we can't even imagine. How many somethingnesses have we come to? How many times did you say, I don't think I can bear this again, this unknownness, this uncertainty, this unsureness. And yet, when you step into it, it seems to come to rest behind you instead of before you. It seems not to loom once you're standing in the middle of it. You say, the unknown is so frightening, so uncertain. Look at the world. Look at the world. I'm not going to talk about the world this morning. I'm going to talk about the world of us. How many unknowns? How could we ever perceive what the possibility is in the unknown? That which remains unseen. And yet that door beckons us, and we find ourselves standing in yet a new place, time and again. And we say, well, it isn't like it was. And we say, it won't be. No, it won't be. Did you have the highest high this year when you went to the mountaintop and bliss took over? Did you have the lowest low this year when you thought life couldn't get any deeper or more painful or more heartbreaking than that? Did you think that somehow the resource of yesterday would be the same one available to you today as you moved forward on your path? No, the resource is born in the moment itself. The resource is born in the midst of the unknown. The resource is born out of those progressive instants of one unfolding after another. And it's part of why we say you have what you need in the experience of this now moment. Why? Because all the resource there is available to you in that beat of your heart, in that breath, and in the opening of that particular door. And so we say, well, if I can't rely on what used to be, then where do I go to find what I need? Say, well, what you need finds you. What you need finds you right at the place where you're standing in that very moment in time. You say, well, need more this, need less that. You say, well, that which you need is presencing in the moment where you stand in the breath you take now. When it comes to letting go, as time goes on, I have really much clearer memories of things that I've said or done or been, ways of being, ways of coming to life. You always say, well, you did your best. Well, perhaps. But we did what we knew to do in the moment where we found ourselves. And in that moment, a perfection was present. And looking at so many things that arise now, would we really go back to that point in time and change those things, or would we let go of what we've carried from that into this moment when something is emerging for us that we've never seen before? One initiation after another, one more opportunity after another. Steve has a song for us called Renew. Renew, something new for us to learn to sing with him. Renew.
Ellen and I had a very churchy conversation during the Seahawks game last night. I said, can you put some words up on the screen in the morning? And she started sending me emoticons with people catching footballs and things. I took that as a yes. Thank you. So let's see. That's going to be the chorus, and it's going to come up at the end, but we're going to get to try it first so that it won't be a surprise and people going, what? Right? So. It goes like this. Renew, it'll just be me and you. Renew, and this day will do. This moment is a present, it'll only take a few. When we hold each other's hearts and renew. Try it. Renew, it'll just be me and you. Renew, and this day will do. This moment is a present, it'll only take a few. when we hold each other's hearts and renew. Yeah. Well, here we are, another brand new year. We celebrated holidays and shared a little cheer. So it's out with the old, in with the new. This is perfect and timely for me and you. So how about we celebrate and renew? With so many loving souls here as we review, maybe that is all we need to do. Let's celebrate and renew. Well, this here is the time of our lives. We can thrive or simply survive. Oh, but never, never throw it all away instead. How about we hold each other's hearts? Oh, my friends, well, let's hold each other's hearts and renew. We can glow from our souls in this perfect little room. And I think that is all we'll need to do. Hold each other's hearts and renew. This is your part. Renew. It'll just be me and you. Renew. And this day will do. This moment is a present. It'll only take a few when we hold each other's hearts and renew. Renew. It'll just be me and you. Renew. And this day will do. This moment is a present. It'll only take a few when we hold each other's hearts and renew. You can hang on to me. I'll hang on to you. Let's hold each other's hearts and renew.
Sweet. Sweet. Very sweet. That new? Is that renew?
It is.
Renew or
I've
new?
rewritten that song like 5 times.
Yeah.
This is the one that I like the most so far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold each other's hearts. What a great thing. Let's move into a time of reflection. As we review the journey of our lives, this past time, we pull up the mirror of what has been, and we know that it doesn't own us. We know that what has been is that ever-passing flow of life, filled with moments of what we determine to be high or low. We look at it as though it was slightly distant from us, as though we've taken a comfortable seat and settled in, and we're just watching the unfolding of this time, space, experience. A woman, a man on a journey. A man, a woman on a journey of unfolding. One chapter after the other. Sometimes hanging on, sometimes moving forward, sometimes moving with fear, and sometimes filled with a vision. In states of tribulation, unfolding into new beginnings. Unfolding in turmoil and in peace, in disappointment and promises fulfilled. Successes, losses, a year, a time on the journey when perhaps you gained a deeper sense of fulfillment. Or met a time when surrender was essential and acceptance was the only way through. Times of healing, times of challenge. Times when there didn't seem to be enough, and then times of flourishing. The journey, a man, a woman on a journey. Today we would understand that all of these stages and cycles have a rhythm. For everything there is a season. Within the body, within the mind, within the life. We see the gifts that have been learned and those that still are unfolding. And we offer our blessing for it all. And now we prepare to release. We feel the pull of Spirit drawing us beyond what has been into what is and what is becoming. We allow ourselves to be guided, to be drawn to be called, to be prompted, to be inspired, and to walk at times in the wilderness. For we know that it all fits together in one perfect whole. There are those things that even as everything is unfolding, there is that remains constant. The one presence, the one power, the one life, the one light, the one love, the one peace, the one wisdom, and the one power that inspires us to let go, to trust, to deepen our faith in a power that often seems absent but is ever present. It is that power at work within us today that inspires us to let go and to touch a vision of what will be, a vision of possibility, a new way of seeing, believing, understanding, and accepting. Loving Spirit, unto you we commit our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our beings, and our lives. In the knowing that you lead, guide, and breathe life and love into us for this that we call our precious journey. Whatever we are called to, Spirit has already provided for us. And in this moment we know, we accept, and we give thanks. And so it is. Amen.
Here's a song by Martina McBride. You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it might not ever come your way. Dream it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. When I pray, doesn't always turn out like I think it should, but I do it anyway. Do it anyway. This world's gone crazy. It's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reasons. In a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. 'Cause God is great, and Sometimes life ain't good when I pray. Doesn't always turn out like I think it should, but I do it anyway. I do it anyway. You can pour your heart out in a song you believe in, but tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway. Yeah, sing it anyway. I sing, I dream, I love. Oh, I sing, I dream, and I love. Oh, anyway. Oh, anyway. Am I going away for a minute here or what?
I don't know. Where are you
I
going?
don't either. It's like this improv thing.
Maybe there's this higher place you're going to.
Listen, look, we have notes.
Honey, you can be wherever you would be comfortable.
I think I'll stay here because I might need to grab that.
I might need you to grab that, or me, as the case could be. Joseph Campbell tells a story about being in a group of 49 people, smart people, studying transformation of consciousness. And they decide to undertake an exercise among the group. And it is to choose 7 things that you cherish, that you wouldn't want to give up, that matter to you at that level, and choose 7 little things that represent those 7 things. And then in the evening, he said, we went down a wooded road in the dark to the mouth of a cave. The cave had a wooden door on it which could be opened, and in front of the door was an individual standing. With hand out, the individual said, give me that which you least cherish. And then you gave one of those little objects you were holding, and the door opened and you entered. And then you proceeded forward through the cave, an enormous place, holding the 6 remaining things that you cherished. On 5 further occasions, you were asked to surrender the next one which you least cherished, until you were left with one object that represented what you treasured most. And you found out what it was. You really did what you treasured most, that you would not give up or surrender or let go. The order in which you gave up your treasures was a revelation. You came to know what order you held your values in, what the order might be. And then you came to an exit where there were 2 people between whom you had to go before you could go through that last exit. And you had to give up that last thing you most cherished? I can tell you that ritual worked, he said. All of the participants with whom I've talked had an actual experience of what he called mosca, release, when they had given up their last treasure. One damned fool was the exception. He didn't give up anything. That's how seriously this ritual was taken. When he was asked to give up something, he just stooped down, picked up a pebble, and handed that over. It was a refusal of the call. The exciting thing to me, he said, was the actual experience. It was a feeling of joyous participation. Watching your earlier bondages go really did change your feeling for the treasures you'd given up. It increased your love for them without the tenacity, without the holding on. I was amazed. Watching your earlier bondages go really did change your feeling for the treasures you'd given up along the way. It increased your love for them without the tenacity, without the holding on. That's not what we're going to do today. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do today. I don't know. I don't know what you'll create in your experience today. What I love about that is the invitation that Joseph Campbell offers us to realize on occasion that we're cherishing old ideas, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, stories, where we've said, I don't want this anymore, and yet it takes up so much space in our being. We haven't let it go. We haven't let it transmute into another level of expression. We're still bound to it. How much freedom do we have when we're bound to the story about our fear of letting it go, or it letting us go? Or what about those things that we've carried for so long that we've allowed to indwell us? And it's become one of our most treasured possessions. How do I know that? Because we give it so much time, attention, and energy. And the negative feelings we have about ourselves, the limitations we hold, the ways we frame thoughts, words, experiences, the attitudes we bring to life, the ways in which we discount life and its preciousness and its gift to us. What are the ways in which it's possible to view something from a shift in our being that would allow us to say, that story doesn't have any power over me anymore. I can surrender this when we don't even realize how we've taken it as one of our cherished possessions, like our identifiers, these negative states of consciousness, and other things that we hold on to in ways that create an energetic to which we are bound. And on what day, what would it take to let go of that thing, to be delivered from that thing? What demand have we placed on it that would be essential for us to be delivered from it, delivered of that thought, instead of in the awareness and the willingness to both accept it and release it? If you can't put your hands on it and change it, then what option do you have? To live with the show going on in the background forever? And what would it mean for you? Who would you be in the letting go of whatever that might be? Maybe it's not a whole story. Maybe what comes to mind this morning is something powerful that might be like paperclip links with all this stuff attached to it, but it has its own core. I don't want it, I don't like it, we say to the experience. I don't agree with it. But because it is as it is, I choose it and accept it now, and I choose to release it so that I can have a little breath and a little freedom from whatever that is that continues to be a point of binding. By binding, I mean like some part of our mind is bound there. Our heart is bound there. And occasionally our body is bound there as well. But we say we don't have to do it that way. And then we say, I can't get over it, I can't get over it, I can't get over it. And I say, no, we choose not to let it go, to be what it is in the framework of the extraordinary journey of our lives. To let it go doesn't mean it didn't happen, it's not true. It means it's happened and it's stuck in my belief system somehow. And it's inviting me to move beyond. So maybe we need to forgive someone. That never works. I mean, really, it doesn't. Forgiveness does you. We can sit down, you can write your forgiveness list every day for the next 365. You can write every forgiveness thing you can imagine. You can make that list, you can burn it every day. And at the end of that time, you're still stuck to it because you've given it so much power. It's an amazing thing. I had a friend who said, I live by my forgiveness list. I thought, man, you've got a lot going on in your life that's troubling you. It was like, I'd rather you make a thank you list for 365 days than a forgiveness list. That list doesn't do it. What happens is an openness occurs in you where you expand beyond that story, that thought, that belief, that idea. You expand beyond it. And somehow Spirit moves through in that state where you're just simply ready. And a breath comes. And suddenly you look behind you and it's back there instead of here. Ooh, the tendrils of it might still be sticking. Some of the goop of it might still be kind of hanging out. I'm getting over a cold. I can talk about goop. But I'm not sick. I'm not sick. My body's adjusting. We revisit these things, and for a moment, it captivates us again, and then we think, I'm not bound to that story anymore. Even the things we love sometimes, we have to let go so the newness of life can come. in that moment. Oh, I believe in forgiveness. I've done a lot of trying to forgive, but then I've had forgiveness do me. When I could stand in the presence of that, and it has no power any longer to disturb my peace. No, it was the unknown. It was them. It was whatever. The story starts to lose its power. You don't even like telling it anymore. Why? Not because it doesn't matter, but because you're not bound to it. I am not that which I have been, we say. I'm not. And you're not. And so as we do our writing process, part of what we might be having to let go of are the good old days. The good old days when things were their best, when it was just the way that was perfect, when it was all right. And we frequently remember things as being a whole lot better than they really were in those good old days. Or maybe what we're remembering are the negatives. The shame, the guilt, the losses, what we've said, what we didn't say, what we did, what we didn't do. We know our guilt. We also know that we can be really sick from holding too tightly to those shaming, guilt-filled feelings. But they never belonged to you. You don't own them. They came and they got stuck in your consciousness, along with all the sensation that went with it. And now we say, I don't choose this any longer. And so you have your sacred hymnal there. And what's true about the power of you, the great I am of you, the divine of you, it never knew any of the stories you tell. The divine of you never related to any of the stories you've told. It's the constant. It's the reality of your being. It is not bound by stories. The divine is the constant. The stories come and they go. And life comes and it goes. And we're given that God-given ability to let go, to take a breath and to let go. So in your packet you have that tiny piece of paper. I know you'll wish you had 10, but you don't have time for 10. So I invite you to take that small piece of paper. So hear me say this. What you write on the paper isn't really what matters. It's the place you're coming from as you write that. Spirit has no secrets, So what you write is that which is closest to your heart about what you're willing to release. And in that state, willing to release and to allow them to be released from you. Spirit is not bound to any single story or moment of your life. Spirit is the freedom that transcends every story, every experience, and every moment of your life. So if you would make your little notes on that small piece of paper, we will burn those in a few minutes, and we'll take about 5 to 7 minutes to do that. It's a small piece of paper. It shouldn't take you longer than that. Huh? All right. So I am free from the past, the mistakes of the past, and the results of the past. I know the truth, and the truth makes me free. Let me say it again. I am free from the past, the mistakes of the past, and the results of the past. I know the truth, and the truth makes me free.